Welcome, listeners, to HP News Channel. Today, we'll delve into a new and complex development in the US-China trade war and its far-reaching impact on an ambitious US weapons project, the F-47 sixth-generation fighter jet. This story isn't just about tariffs and retaliation. It also reveals a dangerous dependence of a superpower on strategic mineral supplies from its adversary. Amidst escalating trade tensions, President Donald Trump continued to exert pressure on China with tariff measures. In response to this, on the 4th of April, 2025, Beijing made a bold decision, imposing a 34% tariff on all goods imported from the United States. But the retaliation didn't stop there. China unleashed another weapon with the potential to have a far more profound impact on US national security: export controls on rare earth elements. Rare earths, a group of 17 chemical elements, play a pivotal role in countless modern industries, from electric vehicles and renewable energy to consumer electronics and, crucially, defense. And the worrying reality is that China currently holds absolute dominance in this field, producing up to 90% of the world's rare earth supply and being the primary supplier to the United States. Not only did they target 7 heavy and medium rare earth elements like samarium, gadolinium, and dysprosium, but Beijing had previously imposed export controls on 5 other critical metals. This move served as a stark warning about the hidden power China wields in its economic confrontation with the United States. Amidst this backdrop, an ambitious US military project faces the risk of being hit hard. The development program for the sixth-generation fighter jet, known as the F-47. According to Newsweek, manufacturers in the US aerospace industry are deeply concerned because they are entirely dependent on China's rare earth supply for the production of critical aircraft components. President Trump announced the awarding of the production contract for this next-generation air dominance's NGAD program aircraft to Boeing just last March. The ambitious goal is for the F-47 to replace the F-22 Raptor and become the cornerstone of the US Air Force's new generation of aircraft. However, China's rare earth strike is casting a dark shadow over the future of this project. The US Congressional Research Service points out that the United States currently uses about 5% of its rare earth supply for defense applications, and fighter jets are just one part of that. But consider its predecessor, the F-35 from Lockheed Martin. Each of these stealth fighters requires 417 kilograms of rare earth elements to manufacture components such as electronic warfare systems, target acquisition radar, and flight control electric motors. This highlights the lifeline dependence of advanced military technology on these elements. Clean technology experts have clearly outlined the irreplaceable role of each rare earth element. Yttrium is an essential material for creating heat-resistant jet engine coatings, high-frequency radar systems, and even laser weapons. It is also used to produce thermal barrier coatings for turbine blades, preventing aircraft engines from melting during supersonic operation. For an advanced stealth fighter like the F-47, the dependence on rare earths is even greater. Elements such as neodymium, praseodymium, dysprosium, and terbium are the backbone for producing high-performance magnets, actuators, and cutting-edge radar systems. Additionally, other strategic metals like tungsten, titanium, and niobium are indispensable for creating structural strength, heat resistance, and stealth coatings, making the aircraft invisible to enemy eyes. Song Zhongping, a Chinese military expert, bluntly stated that his country's rare earth export control measures directly hit the core weakness of the United States in the high-tech military sector. Although the specific technical specifications of the F-47 remain classified, US Air Force Chief of Staff David Alvin has hinted that it will possess capabilities far superior to the F-22, including next-generation stealth technology, integrated sensors, and long-range strike capabilities. The U.S. Air Force is reportedly aiming to build 220 to 250 F-47 aircraft under the NGAD program, with an initial estimated cost of up to $300 million per aircraft, and this figure is likely much higher now. The timeline for the F-47 to enter mass production remains unclear, but the U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff has asserted that it will take off during President Trump's term, meaning before January 2029. This leaves Boeing and the U.S. Air Force with less than 4 years to realize this ambitious goal. However, the trade war and China's closing of the rare earth tap are creating significant obstacles. Consulting firm SFA Oxford issued a noteworthy assessment. As the U.S. accelerates the development of the NGAD program, ensuring access to essential raw materials is as critical to the country's defense sector as the weapon itself. This is an undeniable warning about the fragility of supply chains and the potential risks of relying on an adversary for strategic materials. Can the United States find alternative sources of rare earths or develop technologies to reduce its dependence on China? The answer remains to be seen. But clearly, Beijing's rare earth strike has dealt a significant blow to Washington's ambitions for air dominance, posing considerable challenges to the promising F-47 fighter jet project. Thank you for listening.